carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Eluding the pressure. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. We're able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the 1st down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the 1st down. Excellent tackling right there.
Here comes Grant on the return. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 1st and 10, Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the play.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. So let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a 1st quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
The fullback wide. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, it's Garoppolo. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. Garoppolo. Flushed out right.
Battled by the linebacker, but still adjusts and makes a catch.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes the receiver. And in this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as the receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys,
Frustrating.
Oh, frustrating. They're going to catch it in film.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No surprise there. Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
On 2nd and 11 now. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
21, 21. 22's coming, 22's coming. I think you got it, son. That's 22, that's 22. Drop deep, drop deep. Like 22 is coming.
Garoppolo now. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game. But it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They run it again with Chubb. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen.
Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick 6, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And this play is not going to work. He stopped short of the goal line, and this will remain a 7-6 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 8. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough, and that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
A final shot before the break. Watson wide open. Amari Cooper. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Watson
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. 20! And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
York now for the extra point.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
22, mark 22. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Garoppolo. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Going deep downfield for Ross. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 27, Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So the completion good for just 3. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. With it is Jackson. Pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards yards there. A big one.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
And Chubb will try the middle here. Down to about the 22 here. 69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Chubb. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Chubb again, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Garoppolo. Going deep downfield for Ross. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, It actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the end zone, it's Dearness Johnson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. Nifty move. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And even 100 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside. Back to throw, Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This is Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb to the 27-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And Watson's going to throw it here. He's got his receiver, Cooper. Touchdown, Browns. Amari Cooper, 27 yards. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's got this to Pickens.
Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just